We're excited today to have Dan and Laura Rosecrans. And when you hear the name Dan Rosecrans and you hear the voice, you're going to probably be very familiar with a lot of radio thoughts from throughout the last couple of decades. Dan, Laura, glad to have you with us on Spectrum.
You. Brendan, it's awesome. It's a great opportunity to be here. We're a privilege. Thank you for asking us to be here.
We're excited to learn today about a new project, newer, I guess it's not brand new, but a newer project that Dan and Laura are involved in called the Hub of New Mexico. So tell us, what is the Hub of New Mexico? I've heard about this for several months, and so I'm excited to learn more.
Well, the Hub of New Mexico is an internet-based Christian radio station. Laura and I wanted to do something that was local Christian radio. We wanted to cover New Mexico, and the best way we could figure to do that was to go via the internet, because so many people have access to the internet right now, which means if you've got access to the internet, you've got access to the Hub of New Mexico.
I would guess, now I have no idea on statistics, but I would guess that probably 75, 80, 90% of folks have internet in some way, shape, or form. Of course, with smartphones, the majority of smartphones anymore are connected, so you can utilize those, which means that you're mobile, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have had the opportunity, because we have a mobile app for both Android and iPhones, I have had the opportunity to go north, south, east, west in New Mexico and carry with me the Hub of New Mexico everywhere I go. It's awesome. Incredible thing.
What was the thought behind starting the Hub? Yeah, because you've been a radio, more terrestrial radio person, maybe FM or AM, is probably how people became acquainted with you. But what made you think of doing this?
Well, we had talked about, Dan found himself really wanting to do more of a community-based kind of a radio station. And it's hard to find that out there. And so what we talked about was, let's start our own radio station, go internet so that we can reach all over New Mexico, the state of New Mexico, focus on New Mexico, focus on the land of enchantment, all the issues that are going on. We're very much into the pro-life movement. We're very much into life in general. That's what our tagline is, a voice for life. And that's what we want to focus on, is on issues that a lot of people aren't really concentrating on.
I would guess, too, that when you think of radio, and of course, radio, TV has changed as technology over the years. Yes. There was a day when it was all AM, and then it was AM and FM, and then there was AM and FM and satellite. And now there's internet radio. Yes. But a lot of our smaller communities are not as well served, and of course, larger communities may not be as well locally served. Do you still see that there's holes, even when there's dozens of sources, that people are not getting the local that they desire?
Well, I think that's absolutely accurate. You talk about the holes that there are. One of the things that comes to mind is that a lot of people like sports. So we try and do things that are sports oriented, and in the process, because we are Christians, because we are believers, and we want the message of the gospel to go forth, my philosophy has been kind of a reverse brainwashing. We want to throw the gospel into our sporting events, and so we'll have spots to talk about how people need Jesus Christ. We'll talk about how important faith is. There's all kinds of holes, and I don't know that you could ever fill them all. No problem. But we saw a need for there to be a local New Mexico Christian radio station, somebody who cared about New Mexico 365 days out of the year and focused on what's going on here. We talk about this a lot, Brendan. We talk about the fact that New Mexico is at the top of every bad list, the bottom of every good list.
Sadly.
But yet, God is doing some amazing things in this community, and we love to shine the light on those great things God's up to.
So someone wants to listen to the Hub, internet radio. Maybe you've heard about internet radio, but how do you find it? What do you do?
Well, you go on you can either access us through the computer at thehubnm.com.
Okay.
Or the way that a lot of people are listening to us is on their smartphones.
I would think that would be easy.
Just go to your whatever your web page is, just put on thehubnm.com.
You don't have to have an app for that.
Well, you scroll down just a tiny bit, and it'll give you the apps, the buttons for the apps, whether you have an Android phone or an Apple. Yep. You click on those, and it automatically takes you so that you can download the app on your phone. Once you have it downloaded, then whenever you want to listen to us, you just go to that app, click on it, and there we are.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty neat stuff that's going on. What kind of programming are they going to hear? Is it going to be mostly talk? Is it going to be mostly devotional, instructional? Is it going to be music? What's it going to be?
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Glad I covered it all just for that one question.
We do have a morning show Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 11, and that's when we do a lot of our interviews with our local community people all over the state of New Mexico.
Yeah, we play a lot of great music. We have decided we're going to go with a lot of praise and worship music.
Okay.
So we play a lot of praise and worship
The
music.
older, not,
some of the
not
older
the stuff that everyone's playing today. It's kind of more of the a little bit older stuff.
Yeah. So we step it back just a little bit. We talk to local people. We talk to authors from around the nation. Then later on in the day, we have different friends who, pastors who have a message that we bring from their Sunday pulpit ministry, or somebody who does teaching. There's a wide variety of things that we have, but the vast majority of it is New Mexico.
So you don't really do programming that's maybe national or international necessarily?
We have a little bit. We have a little bit of that, but it's quite interesting because for an old radio guy, that was kind of hard for me to get out of my mind. It took this non-radio lady right here to help me understand the concept of let's do this for New Mexico.
Yes, I really felt God leading us that, we have some great pastors in this state. We have great ministries in this state. And although I appreciate and I recognize our national people,
sure.
For me, I thought God really said we really need to focus on our people in New Mexico.
Well, there's something to be said about a local pastor being able to minister in their community.
Yes.
And you know what? If you need them, they may be actually able to go to the hospital to see you or
Absolutely
to pray
right.
with you on the telephone or do some of those things that a larger national or international ministry, that's just not going to be within the scope of what they can do. Well, of course, one question always comes up, how do you pay for this? How's it funded? I mean, it's a great idea, but you've got to have money to make the wheel go around.
Well, we basically funded this out of our own dollars, our own pocket for the first year, because we wanted people to see this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And at the end of this last year, we asked people to jump in and join us as donors to the Hub of New Mexico. We are not a 501c3 organization. We did that for a multitude of reasons. But so we have listener funding, and we also have some businesses who have come alongside of us and said, I like what you're doing. This is interesting.
Cool.
Give me an opportunity to have whack at your audience, so to speak, to speak to your audience, and they're helping us out.
Yes.
It's a combination.
So it's people in the community, businesses, maybe you guys got, of course, in getting anything started, it takes a little bit of time, takes some money, some investment to get things rolling. What has probably been your most exciting thing that you've seen as you've rolled out this brand new concept?
You want to jump on that one first?
I think for me it's been, when we started this, we were determined this is God's ministry.
Yeah.
He's in charge of it. If He wants us to continue, He will bring the funds, He will bring the listeners. And it's been so exciting because when we did do our year-end ask, it was beautiful. We had people that just supported us, believed in us. So it really showed us that what we're doing is important to God's kingdom.
There's an old saying that says, when God guides, He provides.
Amen.
That's right.
And that is very important to remember.
And we're very happy even to this day, and I mean this, to say that if God decides that we're done and He dries up that financing, we're fine with that. We're okay with that. But as long as He continues to provide, we'll continue to speak. I think the thing that's been so exciting for me, and we were just talking about that this morning, is the minds, the hearts that are being changed in regards to the life issue, Brenton.
Yes.
And I just thought, you know what? God is using us to change minds one heart at a time. Yeah. Changing minds one heart at a time.
And we live in a state where, like Albuquerque specifically as a city, is known to be one of the top abortion centers of the country.
Yes.
And so changing one person's mind is important.
It is.
Absolutely.
And we even saw that, of course, recently as there was a vote that came up and things didn't go the way that folks on the side of life would have liked them to. But there is a continual move, isn't there?
Oh, yes.
Yes, there is.
Of course, we're in a year where the folks in Santa Fe are meeting, and so there's always a move afoot to promote life. Are you guys involved in talking about those issues?
We were talking about it nonstop.
As a matter of fact, we talk about pro-life a lot. I myself am post-abortive, and that when I got healed from having an abortion 3 years ago, God launched me into the pro-life movement, and of course, Dan tagged along. So because of that, we have a passion for life, and we have a passion for the pro-life movement.
Give us one more time how folks can find you. What's the web address that they need to type in?
Go to thehubnm.com, thehubnm.com. Go to your Google Play or whatever iStore you have, and you can download the free app by typing in, run it all together, The Hub NM.
All right. I hope that you will start listening to the Hub of New Mexico. It's great to have with us today Dan and Laura Rosecrans. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.